So that'll be good.
Oh my God. Can't see nothing.
Welcome back, everybody. So we're back at the house. I just figured I'd give a quick update what we've been doing so far. Anyway, I'm not going to take a lot of time, so let's just go right to the walkthrough and show you where we're at and what we've got going. And it's not going to look like much, but I figured I would at least give an update for the inside progress. All right, so the first thing that I can say is that I have a dumpster finally. That showed up Wednesday morning. We spent most of Thursday reorienting it to get it in a better spot for removal. So when it first dropped off, it was a little far away from the building, a little crooked. Couldn't open the door all the way. You could get it like 3/4, but not all the way. But we decided we'd rather have the door open and it pushed up as far as we could. So we tried moving it with trucks and SUVs combined. By our powers combined, we couldn't budget. So we ended up having my sister's father-in-law come down with his tow truck. And using some creative winch pulleying, we managed to get it in position. So that's what we did. But I did spend a good chunk of the day before sweeping out this room. So this room is swept out. I'm going to turn the camera around because it's easier. There we go. So you'll notice in this room, it is swept out mostly, but I don't have any of the walls off. I don't have any of the ceiling down beyond what's fallen down, but I thought maybe it would go easier if I put a tarp down, let it fall into the tarp, and then, I don't know. In theory, in my head, it works better. So walking this way, you can see we opened up our hole, basically made it a doorway. So we took out the stud that was in the middle, we broke out some more of the door, so that's gone. We took down the shelf that was in here so we wouldn't bang our heads on it. And now we have that. Check out this cool little house on, I don't know which generation of wallpaper this was. We have houses, I'm thinking those are like hot air balloons. Apparently my house was retro up themed. Moving forward, this room, if you remember, and you might not, this had a lot of old plaster, like almost all the plaster from the ceiling had fallen into the floor and was just basically a plaster carpet. In some places it was an inch thick. This took many, many bucketfuls, and as you can see, I'm still not anywhere near done, but this is a million times better than what it was, I promise. The only reason this room's even worse is because, ta-da, I started making holes in walls. So this was nothing crazy. This was very, very wet drywall, as you can imagine. The other side, this goes the other side of this is, the other side of this is into the bathroom of that apartment number 8, the one we can't get to. I started knocking through the closet. I would like to pull that stud out and basically make a doorway into that one. I haven't gotten that far yet. I started banging on the other side of this wall, but I believe there's a mirror over there, or was. It's probably gone now. All right, moving up into the hallway. This was clean at one point, but then I couldn't leave well enough alone and I started ripping down this wall, or at least the drywall of it. You can see the scroll work on the back side of the stairs though, which is kind of neat. Couldn't see that behind the wall. I almost wonder if this wall wasn't original, only because why would you put all this work into the staircase but then cover it up with a wall? But like, I don't know where this side of the staircase and the floor would get its support from. There's really not a lot of support under the stairs, at least that I've seen yet. So still undetermined as far as the stairs go, but let's back up because we're going to give you a better view from outside. Now the stairs are actually cleaner. So when my brother was over here Thursday, not only did we get the dumpster moved around, but we started tearing out this carpet on the stairs. Now, the reason I've done that is because it's the only reason I've done this right now, aside from ease of walking up and down the stairs. And this makes it so much easier to walk up and down than stepping on carpet and plaster and junk. So the only other reason I cleaned the stairs and this front area off is purely selfish. I have that back door open and then I leave the front door open and it gets a nice little wind tunnel through. Now in my brain of brains, it tells me that airflow has to help dry out something. It's not going to fix the house, it's not going to make it better, it's not going to take care of all the wood that is rotten away, but I figure anything that's still like surface water, surface dampness, moistness, anything musty like that, I figure the airflow's got to help. So I leave these doors open, but this was such an eyesore from just peeking in from outside. It was driving me nuts. And I thought this would be at least a lot better this way for the people that happen to walk by and want to say hi. Thank you again, all of you. And at least now the stairs, aside from the trim, falling down there, and that's just like under quarter molding or whatever. But now the stairs look a lot better. So that's what we've done so far. Basically today is going to be more cleaning, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time on it, but we are going to walk around. Now that we can go upstairs a little bit better, we're going to walk around and take a little bit more of a look and see, because now it's not raining in here. So we've got our handy dandy light over here. So let's go for a walk. We did start tearing into this other room back here, this apartment number 3, the one with the balcony. As you can see, we have a lot of walls torn into. Some of this was on purpose. Okay, it was all on purpose. But the problem is we started this actually on Monday. We actually started this one on Monday, but that was pre-dumpster. We didn't have the dumpster yet. It was supposed to be coming, but we never got it until Wednesday. So we dropped all this onto the floor and then had nowhere to put it. So we kind of stopped, figured it was kind of pointless to keep going. I did notice a couple cool things. One, we have a tree in the wall. That's how they used to do it, apparently. So they just left the bark on, they just ripped it down and went into there. Now, some of these side walls, or side posts, do have some, you can see that one over there has got a little bit of a rot to it. Yay. On the plus side, though, you can see down here we have this massive beam that runs across, which is weird. Why would you have that beam 2 feet up in the middle of a room, not between floor levels? I don't know. I'm not an architect. We'll figure it out. But the rest of it's pretty straightforward. So let's go look in some of the other ones now that I have more daylight and less rain. So some of the other stuff we were doing, we were investigating. We went upstairs, we went up into the attic, and we were trying to figure out some of these beams. So above my head, you can see this discoloration right there. That's actually another one of the great big beams that goes side to side across in the attic. The other one is down here over the stairwell. So that above my head is the remnants of a major support beam. So we did notice one thing the other day though. So this board here, I thought was the was a support beam. So I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. But then I looked next to it, and I don't know if you can see it very well, but that's actually the beam that's supposed to hold the beam above my head. It was a very big beam at one point, and it is now just gone. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to figure out. That's why this house scares my brother. He does not like that corner at all. So there's another hole in the roof in this room. So this is kind of the L shape that juts out. Now you can't see through the windows, I'm sorry. So we started looking around over here because we thought we were looking for ductwork and things like that, but oh good, I have a lead pipe right here, hang on. That's a massive lead pipe. Okay, how about a sink drain? That'll work. Let's go over here. I was just noticing. So let me turn you around and I'll show you what I just found. Okay, so this piece here, I thought originally this might have been just extra ductwork or something over the ductwork. You know, turns out no, it's trim over this beam. See if I can turn this light on. I don't know, it was not help, but so this beam. So remember, we saw this one. You know, we definitely needed help, right? This cross beam. If you look over here, it doesn't look like it's even being held up anymore. But turns out this is the corner post beam, and as you can see, it's not doing much. So we're going to walk around the corner post beam, and let's see if you can see out the window. So as you can see, that is literally the corner of the main structure of the house that comes into this beam. This is the corner stone of this whole corner of the house. And as you can see, it is pretty bad. So yeah, great. That's awesome. Okay, so yeah, so having an entire beam from floor to ceiling. So yeah, okay. So, obviously that's a little disappointing and concerning. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to tackle that rotted support post. Now there's a couple scenarios. One, maybe it only goes from the upstairs. Maybe it doesn't actually come all the way down through, or maybe it's only rotted to the second floor and beyond that it's fine. Yeah. I don't know. On the one hand, my brain says once the walls are opened up and we can actually see, then we can get a better idea of how much damage there is, and we can also then put reinforcements on either side, at least figuring out, at least shore up that corner until we can figure out how to replace that beam or what we're going to do with it. The problem with that is how much of the walls right now are actually supporting the load that that beam is supposed to. On the plus side, that beam is in the corner where two roofs come down. Like, there's minimal roof load, if that makes sense. There's not as much stress from the top. There's not as much weight above it. But it's still a pretty big beam, and there's nothing holding the beam above it that's supposed to be sistered into that one. If I'm honest, the first time I looked at this house, I did not realize that some of the beam damage was that widespread. Now, I'd be a fool if I said I wasn't expecting more and more issues to pop up that were invisible upon first or second or third inspection. There's a very good chance in my head that 90% of this house gets reframed by the time we get done. So anyway, that's a little, I'm gonna have to figure out the better way to do that. So we're gonna kind of leave that corner alone for now. Hopefully it's not enough to make me run in terror. I think it's still okay. I think we're still gonna be fine. The house hasn't fallen down yet, even with me traipsing around and banging around and things. Plus, on the other hand, the more weight we remove, the less stress there is on the lumber, right? So I'm gonna go back to hauling debris out and doing what I can do, at least for now. No point in dwelling on the unknown when there's stuff that I know I can get done now. So that's what I'm gonna do. I have the dumpster for another week and a half. I have another week off of work. So let's see how much of this we can get cleared out and done in that time frame. I do want to say thank you again to everybody that's watched, liked, subscribed, all that fun stuff. It really does mean a lot to me. I really appreciate it. The support has been great, still been great. And we've got good weather coming, warm weather coming. So hopefully I get to see some more of you out and about and chat and say hi. And until the next one, thank you for watching, and have a good one.